very warm welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show on this Monday morning. Charissa Bloomberg, our relationship expert, is in the studio when we're talking about one-night stands. And earlier on, we heard a story, I think something that happens more often than not, where, the one-night stand means more to one person than the other, and you're left in a bit of an emotional lull, if you will. Yes. But let's also talk about the health risks, because these are very, very real.
Now, Kat, you're with a stranger on this one-night stand. Maybe there's been alcohol involved. How are you going to negotiate safer sex? Are you going to say, hey, dude, do you have a condom? Are you going to actually say to them, listen, I'm not on the pill? Oh, I've had an STD. There's all of those things. And then because there's alcohol, they probably aren't, you know what, you're just going to take a risk. And that's when the dangers come in. That's when the pregnancy comes in. That's when, you wake up and you've got something creepy going on in places you don't want to have.
And that moment of risk has now been taken and you can't take it back.
No.
You can't take it back. So what happens in the case where, let's say, pregnancy now becomes an issue? How do both parties deal with it? How should they be dealing with it ideally?
Now, that is very complicated. Because firstly, do you have his contact details to actually tell him you're pregnant? Okay. He has to get the DNA test and see that it is his. Then if it proves that it is, the law is actually on the woman's side. He has to be held accountable and responsible for the rest of his life. Just for one night stand with some woman he even forgot what her name and what her face looks like. So, that's hectic. We need to consider that when we're going to do these one-night stands. Absolutely. It sounds amazing, but the consequences
are very, very real indeed, and they are immediate. 083-913-3728. Please give us a call and let us know what your thoughts are. So, wow, I think everything we've said makes it, kind of puts a big, dark, grey cloud over it. Is there a possibility of handling it correctly such that the experience is a positive one?
Okay, we don't want to look like we're advocating one
Not
night
at all,
stand,
not at all, not at all.
Let's
In fact, if you're saying that there's no way at all, then I'd rather you said that than it's sounding like we're advocating for it, because we're certainly not.
No, we're not. We're not advocating it for marriage, because I put this onto my social media and everyone went crazy and said, we're married, and what about... We're not talking about to the married people. Those you can have a one-night stand and a date night with your wife, or your partner, or your husband. Okay, so the positive thing, if you want to, it's going to be for those people who don't want the commitment. And I know, I have a few friends who are absolutely single. They don't want the relationship. They're just loving it. But you've got to be able to, if you want a positive, negotiate safer sex.
There we go.
Please let people know where you are. Don't just go off with some dude. And I'm speaking for the females. Don't just go off with someone. Let people know where you are. And just know that there could be some physical abuse involved as well, or verbal abuse. You don't know the person at all. You don't know what his kinky side is like at all.
And speaking of which, I mean, you don't know what this person might be thinking. There could be video or photo footage that's taken of you being shamed on social media. That's something to also consider. But let's quickly take a call right now. I think we've got Stephen on the line. Stephen, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes. How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you, sir. It's a very interesting topic, and it's a topic very close to my heart, sir.
Please share your thoughts on this.
My thoughts are simply this, sir. We as men, for want of a better expression, we go in there with our periscope just to have this one-night stand type of thing. But a woman offers everything. To me, the woman should be respected. I mean, she's not a milk truck just to satisfy your own lust. And this is where I think men should take cognizance of who they really are. A man, you can coerce a woman into bed very easily. What do you offer her thereafter? Now there's a pregnancy, there's an unwanted child. There's horrible connotations to children that haven't got daddies over a period of time, fell apart and so forth. And to me, men should take cognizance of that. I think the man is the chief culprit here. Because he goes to a club, a woman is slightly drunk or something like that, and he might be a good boy, and he plays onto her, and off he goes with her. And the next thing, she's pregnant. He walks away from responsibility. So great, he can pay maintenance, but what about that child? Who's my daddy type of thing? We've got that movie, Big Daddy, with Adam Sandler. That is big. There's a lot more truth to it than one can think.
Stephen, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. And maybe a time for us to maybe reflect on that a little bit. We're not necessarily... Well, I certainly am not trying to say the blame lies with the man solely. I think it's one of those, it takes two to tango, but the responsibility is in both people's hands to consider what it is that they're doing.
Yes, most definitely. Responsibility is with both, and they've got to negotiate that, and they've got to be aware of that. And he's right, just think of a child. I've had to counsel children who've said, I'm a product of a one-night stand. They're carrying that for the rest of their life. I don't know who my dad is. Mom had a one-night stand. So Think about that, it's huge. And as we said before, we're not generalizing, it is different for men and women when you, the consequences afterwards as well.
Absolutely, yes. We'll continue with our topic this morning, one-night stands. What your thoughts are, we'd like to know. Please give us a call on 0839133728. But right now, over to the kitchen.